Day 193, Exile, Isaiah 3-4, Tobit 3-4, Proverbs 9 verses 13-18. Let's begin. Isaiah 3:4. For behold, the sovereign Lord of hosts will take away, from Jerusalem and from Judah, the powerful and the strong, all the strength from bread, and all the strength from water. The strong man, and the man of war, the judge and the prophet, and the seer and the elder. The leader over 50 and the honorable in appearance, and the counselor, and the wise among builders, and the skillful in mystical speech. And I will provide children as their leaders, and the effeminate will rule over them. And the people will rush, man against man, and each one against his neighbor. The child shall rebel against the elder, and the ignoble against the noble. For a man will apprehend his brother, from the household of his own father, saying, The vestment is yours. Be our leader, but let this ruin be under your hand. In that day, he will respond by saying, I am not a healer, and there is no bread or vestment in my house. Do not choose to appoint me as a leader of the people. For Jerusalem is ruined, and Judah has fallen, because their words and their plans are against the Lord, in order to provoke the eyes of his majesty. The acknowledgement of their countenance is their response. For they have proclaimed their own sin, like Sodom, and they have not concealed it. Woe to their souls! For evils are being repaid to them. Tell the just man that it is well, for he shall eat from the fruit from his own plans. Woe to the impious man immersed in evil! For retribution will be given to him from his own hands. As for my people, their oppressors have despoiled them, and women have ruled over them. My people, who call you blessed, the same are deceiving you and disrupting the path of your steps. The Lord stands for judgment, and he stands to judge the people. The Lord will enter into judgment with the elders of his people, and with their leaders. For you have been devouring the vineyard, and the plunder from the poor is in your house. Why do you wear down my people, and grind up the faces of the poor, says the Lord, the God of hosts? And the Lord said, Because the daughters of Zion have been lifted up, and have walked with extended necks and winking eyes, because they have continued on, walking noisily and advancing with a pretentious stride. The Lord will make the heads of the daughters of Zion bald, and the Lord will strip them of the locks of their hair. In that day, the Lord will take away their decorative shoes, and the little moons and chains, and the necklaces and bracelets, and the hats, and the ornaments for their hair, and the anklets, and the touches of myrrh and little bottles of perfumes, and the earrings, and the rings, and the jewels hanging on their foreheads, and the continual changes in appearance, and the short skirts, and the fine linens and embroidered cloths, and the mirrors, and scarves, and ribbons, and their sparse clothing. And in place of a sweet fragrance, there will be stench. And in place of a belt, there will be a rope. And in place of stylish hair, there will be baldness. And in place of a blouse, there will be haircloth. Likewise, your most handsome men will fall by the sword, and your strong men will fall in battle. And her gates will grieve and mourn. And she will sit on the ground desolate. And 7 women will take hold of one man, in that day, saying, We will eat our own bread and wear our own clothing, only let us be called by your name, so as to take away our reproach. In that day, the seedling of the Lord will have magnificence and glory, and the fruit of the earth will be greatly esteemed and a source of joy to those who will have been saved out of Israel. And this shall be, all who are left behind in Zion, and who remain in Jerusalem, shall be called holy, all who have been written in life in Jerusalem. Then the Lord will have washed away the filth of the daughters of Zion, and will have washed away the blood of Jerusalem from its midst, by means of a spirit of judgment, and a spirit of intense devotion. And the Lord will create, over every place of Mount Zion, and wherever he is called upon, a cloud by day and a smoke with the splendor of burning fire by night. For protection will be over every glory. And there will be a tabernacle for shade from the heat in daytime, and for security, and for protection from the whirlwind and from rain. Tobit 3:4. Then Tobit sighed, and he began to pray with tears, saying, O Lord, you are just, and all your judgments are just, and all your ways are mercy, and truth, and judgment. And now, O Lord, remember me, and do not take vengeance for my sins, and do not call to mind my offenses, nor those of my parents. For we have not obeyed your precepts, and so we have been handed over to plundering and to captivity, and to death, and to mockery, and as a disgrace before all the nations, among which you have dispersed us. And now, O Lord, great are your judgments. For we have not acted according to your precepts, and we have not walked sincerely before you. And now, O Lord, do with me according to your will, and order my spirit to be received in peace. For it is more expedient for me to die than to live. And so, on the same day, it happened that Sarah, the daughter of Raguel, in Rages, a city of the Medes, also heard a reproach from one of her father's servant maids. For she had been given to 7 husbands, and a demon named Asmodeus had killed them, as soon as they had approached her. Therefore, when she corrected the maid for her fault, she answered her, saying, May we never see son or daughter from you upon the earth, you murderess of your husbands. Would you also kill me, just as you have already killed 7 husbands? At these words, she proceeded to an upper room of her house. And for 3 days and 3 nights she did not eat or drink. But continuing in prayer with tears, she beseeched God, so that he would liberate her from this reproach. And it happened on the 3rd day, while she was completing her prayer, blessing the Lord, that she said, Blessed is your name, O God of our fathers, who, though you had been angry, will show mercy. And in time of tribulation you dismiss the sins of those who call upon you. To you, O Lord, I turn my face, to you, I direct my eyes. I beg you, O Lord, that you may absolve me from the chains of this reproach, or at least take me away from the earth. You know, O Lord, that I have never coveted a husband, and I have preserved my soul clean from all impure desire. I have never mingled myself with those who play. And I have not presented myself as a participant with those who walk with levity. But I consented to accept a husband, in your fear, not in my lust. And either I was unworthy of them, or they perhaps were not worthy of me. For perhaps you have preserved me for another husband. For your counsel is not within the ability of man. But all who worship you are certain of this, that one's life, if it should be tested, shall be crowned, and if it should be in tribulation, shall be delivered, and if it should be corrected, shall be permitted to approach your mercy. For you are not delighted with our perdition. For after a storm, you create tranquility, and after tears and weeping, you pour out exultation. May your name, O God of Israel, be blessed forever. At that time, the prayers of them both were heard in the sight of the glory of the Most High God. And the holy angel of the Lord, Raphael, was sent to care for both of them, whose prayers were recited at the same time in the sight of the Lord. Therefore, when Tobit considered that his prayer was heard, so that he might be able to die, he called his son Tobias to him. And he said to him, My son, hear the words of my mouth, and set them, like a foundation, in your heart. When God will receive my soul, bury my body. And you shall honor your mother all the days of her life. For you are obliged to be mindful of what great peril she suffered because of you in her womb. But when she too will have completed the time of her life, bury her near me. Yet, for all the days of your life, have God in your mind. And be careful that you never consent to sin, nor overlook the precepts of the Lord our God. Give alms from your substance, and do not turn away your face from any pauper. For so it shall be that neither will the face of the Lord be turned away from you. In whatever way that you are able, so shall you be merciful. If you have much, distribute abundantly. If you have little, nevertheless strive to bestow a little freely. For you store up for yourself a good reward for the day of necessity. For almsgiving liberates from every sin and from death, and it will not suffer the soul to go into darkness. Almsgiving will be a great act of faith before the Most High God, for all those who practice it. Take care to keep yourself, my son, from all fornication, and except for your wife, never permit yourself to know such an offense. Never permit arrogance to rule in your mind or in your words. For in it, all perdition had its beginning. And whoever has done any kind of work for you, immediately pay him his wages, and do not let the wages of your hired hand remain with you at all. Whatever you would hate to have done to you by another, see that you never do so to another. Eat your bread with the hungry and the needy, and cover the naked with your own garments. Set out your bread and your wine at the burial of a just man, and do not eat and drink from it with sinners. Always seek the counsel of a wise man. Bless God at all times. And petition him that he direct your ways and that all your counsels may remain in him. And now I reveal to you, my son, that I lent 10 talents of silver, while you were still a young child, to Gabael, in Rages, a city of the Medes, and I have his written agreement with me. And so, inquire how you may travel to him and receive from him the aforementioned weight of silver, and return to him the written agreement. Do not be afraid, my son. We do indeed lead a poor life, but we will have many good things, if we fear God, and withdraw from all sin, and do what is good. Proverbs 9 verses 13 through 18. A foolish and loud woman, who is full of enticements, and who knows nothing at all, sat at the entrance of her house on a seat, in a high place of the city, so as to call to those who were passing by the way and continuing on their journey. Whoever is little, let him turn aside to me. And to the frenzied she said, stolen waters are more soothing, and secret bread is more pleasant. And he did not know that giants are there, and that her companions are in the depths of hell.